Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Grade 8 Events. I'm your host, Delaney Hall. Happy to be back with you for another week of an incredible lineup of events happening across Central Virginia. So you guys know every week I kind of focus on one big one, and then we have a lot of other events that we talk about. But this Saturday is the annual Walk to End Alzheimer's. We are very proud to be partnering again this year with the Alzheimer's Association for this walk. The Alzheimer's Association does so much here in the Richmond community, and this walk is going to be another incredible day. So I want to bring in some photos. Many of you watching may have been to this walk before. This is not our first year partnering with the association. We've done this many times. This is actually, I believe these are pictures from last year. You can see Eric, Deanna there, me, Matt, and Autumn were also there as well. It's a great day where the station comes out and shows their support, and there's a really good turnout. So this is all happening Saturday morning at City Stadium. That's, of course, on Maplewood Avenue in Richmond. The site opens at 8:30. Where you can mingle, check in. There's an opening ceremony happening at 10:15, and Eric and Deanna will be the MC of that, and then the actual walk starts at 10:45. So I have this photo. A big part of this day is the promise garden flower. So when you walk in, you'll see flowers with 4 different colors, and essentially you pick up a flower that you most relate to. So people will pick up a blue flower if they are living with Alzheimer's, purple if they lost someone to the disease, yellow if you're a caregiver, and orange if you are supporting the cause. And of course, this is all to raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. They have a goal of $1.1 million this year, which is pretty incredible. And they're pretty close to their fundraising goal. Again, this is the tent from last year. You can see our team hard at work there. This is during the opening ceremony. Again, Dan and Eric will be the MCs again this year. It's very powerful to see everyone holding up their flowers. Alzheimer's, of course, is an awful disease. I have a personal connection to it as well. I always hold up a purple flower. I unfortunately lost my grandmother to the disease back in 2019. So chances are you know someone or a family member or a friend of a friend who has dealt with this. So this is such an important cause, not only to our station, but to a lot of folks here in this area. If you are raising money, you can do that through your team online. I want to, continue. Again, the goal is $1.1 million. I want to bring in my browser. They are at $921,000, and they are so close. I believe this year rivals some of the really big walks like in New York City. So they are very excited, and we hope and pray that we can meet that goal. All the money raised goes towards care, support, and research, of course, for Alzheimer's disease. So it's an amazing cause. Your 8 News crews will be out there. And of course, so we talked about the Promise Garden Flower. We talked about the opening ceremony, and of course, the actual walk. I believe there's a 1 and 2 mile option. That was me and Matt last year. He's just as enthusiastic off TV as he is on TV. And that's just a perfect example right there, clearly making everybody laugh. It's high energy. It's a great morning. And I believe when you register, you don't have to donate. But of course, it's strongly suggested that you do make a donation. You know, that's what we're all here for. So now we're back at the beginning. So that's, again, the Walk to End Alzheimer's happening on Saturday at City Stadium on Maplewood Avenue in Richmond. We hope you come and join us. It's going to be a fabulous morning for an amazing cause. So that is the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And our handy dandy list. You guys know that I always love this. So this Saturday is also Hops in the Park at Henricus Historical Park in Chester from noon to 6. It is a free national award-winning Hops and Harvest Festival. You're going to find craft beers, brewing demonstrations, vendors, live music. And if you've never been to Henricus Historical Park, it's actually pretty fascinating. It's right near the James River. So you're also going to learn about history and what life was like living on the James in the 1600s. Historical interpreters were there. And I believe when I visited last year, They do a lot of education with schools, especially like field trips. And so you have people kind of dressed up in living history, which is pretty cool, and can kind of get a hands-on feel at what they're teaching there. But I want to bring in the browser. So this is on the Chesterfield page. They have pictures from previous years. Again, entry is free, but of course, if you want to buy food, drink, obviously bring your own money for that. Beer tickets are $7 for 12 ounces on that day and $3 for a 4-ounce tasting. There is parking available. There's a satellite parking lot at USA Iron and Metal on Coxondale Road in Chester. That'll open at 11:45, and then a shuttle will be continuously running between 11:45 and 6:30, so you don't have to walk that full way because it is a bit of a ways. The last shuttle returns to the parking lot will depart at 6:15, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to let these photos play for a second while I take a drink, because you guys know how it is. All right, so that is Hops in the Park again. Free to get in, but if you're gonna drink responsibly and buy vendors and food, all that, bring your own money. But yeah, that's a pretty cool one. It's very unique, especially with the living history. All right, so the next is the Richmond Jewish Food Festival from Sunday to Monday. This is happening from noon to 7 on both days at Knesset Beth Israel over on Patterson Avenue. I want to bring in the menu because that's what everyone wants to see. You'll find live music, vendors, and of course, all homemade food, which is pretty incredible. I'll bring in this browser here. They have an entire list of food options with the prices on their website. KBI, so Knesset Beth Israel RVA.com, has all of this, and you can kind of see what they're offering. Shawarma, falafel, beef brisket, matzo ball soup, of course, is a classic. Chopped liver, kosher pickle, that sounds interesting. And then assorted baked goods. I feel like every food festival needs assorted baked goods. So that is on Sunday and Monday. I know a lot of festivals tend to happen over the weekend, but they're shaking it up a little bit, which is kind of cool. So Sunday and Monday from noon to 7 on both days on Patterson Avenue. That is the Richmond Jewish Food Festival. Another food festival is happening this weekend for the first time ever, and I'm very excited about this. Richmond's first Asian Street Food Festival on Saturday at the Answer Brew Pub. There is nothing like this in Richmond, and I'm actually half Filipino, so I'm very excited to see some representation because if you've had Asian street food of any kind, you know how incredible it is. So essentially from noon to 5 at the Answer Brew Pub, they are going to have a ton of vendors and food trucks representing different countries, Japan, Thai, Indian, Filipino. There's going to be beer specials there as well because you're at the brew pub. It is free, but obviously, if you want to buy things, please bring your own money. It's also hosted by the Asian American Society of Central Virginia. Now, I couldn't find the exact list of vendors that will be there, but they did give some examples like the Thai, the Indian, the Filipino. If you guys find a really good Filipino place and there's a food truck there, please let me know. I have been craving Filipino food, and so has this baby, and it's sometimes hard to find. So please let me know, because that's my shameless plug. There's amazing local restaurants around here that offer that, so I'm just trying to find the best one, so you let me know. That is the Street Food Festival. That starts at noon again, and it lasts until 5 at the Answer Brew Pub, which is on West Broad Street over down in Richmond. All right, we're gonna take another sip. The next one I want to talk about is the Craftsman Classic. You can shop early for Christmas because honestly, we have to start thinking about it. I already had my first holiday drink of the season from Starbucks, so you know it's everywhere. And I was actually shopping yesterday, not for Christmas gifts, and I already heard Christmas music in like the grocery store. So people, I think, are ready. I feel like Christmas starts early and earlier every year. But this is a great way to get started on your holiday shopping. Think ton of vendors in the Richmond Raceway all packed together. This is happening tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, excuse me. at the Raceway, Friday tomorrow from 10 to 8, Saturday 10 to 6, and Sunday 10 to 4. You can order tickets online ahead of time at gilmoreshows.com. I have it up right here. Super easy. And they even have the dates for the Spring Classic. So they always have a Christmas version of this and then the spring version of this. You get a $1 off coupon if you do it online, which is pretty cool. Admission is good for all 3 days with a free return pass. Just show your ID, which is great. Adults, it'll be $10 at the door. Kids 6 to 12, you're $1 at the door. Under 6, you get in free, which is pretty great. There's always some great items here. My mom and I love going to these. There's also the Bazaar coming up in December. It's a great way to find personalized gifts that you don't necessarily, or you can't necessarily find in the big brick and mortar stores. So highly recommend. And you're supporting local businesses, right? And sometimes they're not local. Sometimes they travel across the country. So it's pretty cool. And this is also isn't on my list. But another big one happening this weekend is the Urbana Oyster Festival. That is huge down in Urbana. I know they're very excited. It's tomorrow and Saturday. It's the world's oldest festival, so they say, dedicated to oysters. Like 50,000 people come into Urbana for this. So everyone's very excited. Entry is free, but pay as you go. I would head to their website if you want to learn more about parking. There's a lot of road closures in the area just because it's a huge festival. They kind of like shut down part of the downtown area. So just keep that in mind that the Urbana Oyster Festival is also happening. I know that my aunt will be there and I want to talk about it. So that's what I have for graded events. It may be November and it may be cooling down, but RVA is not stopping with the events. And I was actually looking through some of my calendar. We have a lot of holiday things coming up. Of course, RVA Illuminates is coming up in less than a month. That's a big one here for our station. So I know you'll be hearing about that in the coming weeks. There's a lot of fun stuff happening. But as always, if you have an event that you want us to learn more about, send us an email at news@wrec.com. We're also doing live interviews on 8 News at 9. So you can send us an email at interview@wrec.com if you want to be on our show and we can see if it's a good fit. And we'd love to learn more about all the great things you guys are doing out in the community. But for now, I will say goodbye and I'll see you next week.